gone. To us, it's sorrowful. He will never return. To some of us who might be angry, he was cheated. And maybe to some of us who are of those who are happy, he is at peace. And to the faithful, yes, the faithful, Jim has never left. He cannot speak, but he can listen. He cannot be seen, but he can be heard. So as you stand and gaze at the mountain or the shore of a lake or an ocean, those places where we find rest, remember Jim Grubiak. Remember him in your heart and in your thoughts. Remember him in those times and all the times that you share. For if you always think of him, he will never be gone. For those of you present and don't know me, my name is Bernie Gray, and I'm the owner of this funeral home. And I'm serving as a celebrant this evening for Jim. And tomorrow we'll get together again and we will commend him back to this earth and to the universe. I did not know James Grubiak. I hear he was a man who enjoyed his time alone. But also I know that he shared his interest as a fan of the Mets and the Jets with many of you. I know that he was a first-class mechanic. Some even call him a motorhead. I know and can see by the slideshow that Jim had a great smile and a zest for life and good time. And I think that maybe my path and his crossed, but I am not as bold to stand before you this evening and share his eulogy. My purpose is to lead us to that eulogy. Jim was not a religious man. However, he walked among us and he touched us. His spirit and his life force entered into our space. And therefore, we must gather and tell this family what his living and his dying has meant. Tonight, we do not have to raise our eyes and our hearts into a petitionary prayer. We don't have to recite scripture. Though before we leave this evening, I would like to share an essay that was written 100 years ago by a cleric. That will be happening a little bit later. Jim Grubiak was born on September 3rd. I looked into the book that is titled The Language of Birthdays. This book studies personology and the personology of each day of the year that we are born. This is what I found. People born on September 3rd are not always what they seem. They are multi-talented. They may be quiet and tractable. They have a steel-like armor that seals them off from all forms of flattery. They insist on being treated fairly and honorably. They will resist efforts to be pushed around. They display a confidence in the value of their work. They are well equipped to endure years without recognition while continuing on with their endeavors. Quite amazing. Lori and Linda and her husbands Dan and Tom, Bob and his wife Teresa, Richard and Barbara. The relationship of a sibling is both simple and complicated. We share a roof and sometimes a room. We can grow up close as twins, or we can be separated by time and space. No matter what the family configuration, there is something completely unique about sisters and brothers. We share a heart that hurts when the other has troubles or struggles. Our siblings are supposed supposed to be there forever, to grow up and to grow old with us. Learning to live without Jimmy, your brother, means finding a different set of ears who will hear you, who knows your history and loves you anyway. No one can keep you grounded and humble like a brother. I should acknowledge this evening Michelle and Bridget at this time, because lives that are touched by love and companionship, you that loved him lived in his mild and magnificent eyes. As the memory of Jim leaves this earth, and we ourselves will have loved and be forgotten, but the love will have been enough. All of those impulses of love return to the love that we. Dorothy. The death of Jim may be one of the most devastating events that you will ever experience. I learned many, many years ago while working at the Riverside Funeral Home in New York City that there are many words in the Yiddish language. Thousands. When someone loses their husband, they're called a widow. When someone loses their wife, they're called a widower. When a child loses their parents, they're called orphans. In the Yiddish language, there is no word for a parent who loses a child. And they say the reason for this is because there is no word to express that pain. Why make a word? Why describe it when you can't? Rose Kennedy said this: "It has been said that time heals all wounds. I do not agree. The wounds remain. In time, the mind, protecting its sanity, covers them with scar tissue, and the pain lessens, but it's never done." Like I said, I am not here to deliver a eulogy, but make this time sacred so that maybe we can share a thought or many thoughts and turn them into memories of Jim. I heard that his niece Lisa would like to share some things with you.
But I want to share basically my main Christmas memory. We always used to gather every single year for Christmas, and Uncle Jimmy was that uncle in the room that didn't really like to show what he was feeling. He had that face where, like, if you looked over at him, you would just they'd be making like a smirk of, "Why did you give me this?" or what is the meaning of this present? Like, but he wouldn't actually say anything. He'd just like have that face. But he has this laugh that he does. I don't know if you guys have ever heard Uncle Jimmy laugh, but it's this cackle, and then when he starts cackling so hard, he just goes silent and he starts like moving. I feel like I have that laugh, and I love that I have that laugh. And I specifically, whenever I feel myself doing it, I think of my Uncle Jimmy, and that's honestly very, very important to me. I think we're all really, really gonna miss him, and I would love if somebody else shared some memories. I haven't got to see my Uncle Jimmy in a very long time, and I wish that I did before he passed. But if somebody could share some more recent memories.
Not you Hurley boys. A lot of history with you Hurley boys.
All right, done.
We got one, your sister's one.
I'm Joe Decker. I've known Jimmy since too long. It was one of the things that we were talking about, Tom, the other day, and I was like, when I went past his house, I'm gonna say, I'd yell out fag. Or vice versa. And we've been doing that since we were kids. I don't even know how many years. The last couple of days, I've been thinking about him a lot. And he was the type of guy that if I didn't see him for 6 months, it was like we never skipped a beat. We'd sit there and talk. We had another story. We used to call him, where's Billy? Thirsty Thursdays. Thirsty Thursday hangover Friday. And we were sitting there one night, and he used to call my dad Big Jack. And it was the funniest thing, and of course, we ended up having a few too many. And he ends up going and he starts crying, and he's like, oh yeah, Big Jack. And my father comes walking right up behind, and Jimmy just and it was that type of personality, and I've known him, as I said, I went through kindergarten, all the way up through high school, the stuff that we did, and Mrs. Kamen, we're still alive. Some of us that are just went through, and we just had the laughs and the fun, and it was sitting down there just talking, having a beer, Budweiser. I'm gonna have a beer for you. I hadn't had a Budweiser in a long time, so I'm gonna have a Budweiser for Jim. Just a special person. He's gonna be very much missed. And he was always, when my birthday, I'm the end of October, and his was September 3rd. And I'd always say, oh, you're the old guy now, for a whole 6 weeks. And that went on for a year, and it was just the funniest thing. And with that said, he's gonna be missed, all of us. And good luck. This ought to be good.
Well, when I came to this country, it was I believe it was 1980, 1982. When I was working for my cousins at Zip Code Service on Washington Avenue. And I believe I must have seen Jim Smarter over there, and Mr. Kamen bringing the cars to the shop and everything else. And when I was working on cars, next thing you know, the guy rolls in, brings the car for inspection and stuff. And it was Jimmy. So back then I didn't know how to speak English, so Jimmy's Polish, so he must have knew what I was saying to him, whatever. But then I told him, I said, hey, you want to, just, that was 1980s, I want 82 or something. I said, Jimmy, why don't you just get a job here, you know what I mean? So that's how I met Jimmy. When I believe I was 18, Jimmy was probably 16 or 17, whatever. And the next thing you know, Jimmy, goes to the office, signs the paperwork, and there he is, he's working. A week later, he's working, there he goes. Next thing you know, the party starts, of course, there it is. Whoa, what are you doing? I said, I don't know, what do you want to do? I said, well, let's go to Rolling Mountain Inn. So there we are, going down to Rolling Mountain Inn. Have a pitcher of beer, wings, then next another pitcher of beer, wings, what I'm saying? That's just, that goes on for years and years, Next thing you know, and I'm getting a little heavy, my belly's getting big, you know what I mean? I said, Jimmy, I can't do this no more, you know what I mean? Oh, you should, have a beer with me and everything else. I'm gonna try it, I just, I can't do it too much, I'm gonna get married in 1987, 1990, my kids are born, having kids, so we kind of lost the touch a little bit. But he was still coming over with Michelle, coming over to the house all the time, riding his motorcycle, driving his cars, you know, he loves his cars and stuff, you know. We've been going together to the car shows for a long, long time, you know, back and forth with Jimmy, and we had a great time, all that stuff, you know, many, many years, you know, and just going to four-wheelers and, you know, the dirt bikes and stuff like that, rode in the woods, in the Hurley Woods and Hurley Flats, riding Soberties over there, you know what I mean? With Tom Linda, I used to live on a four-wheel bus over there and stuff like that, so overall, we had a great, great time, you know. You know, parties were great, birthdays were great, you know. He was a good guy, you know. Never got mad, you know what I'm saying? Always kept quiet, you know. Always did his own things, you know. Did what he wanted to do. He wanted to ride a bike. And whatever he had, always kept everything forever. He never wanted to get rid of anything. He kept it. Especially his motorcycle, his nice cars, he always wanted to keep it, don't get rid of it. His tools, his toolboxes, you know. Always wanted to keep it, you know. Don't want to get rid of nothing. You know, and stuff like that, so it was good. I remember he was watching my kids too all the time. Kids couldn't wait to go over see him for babysitting, to watch the kids, him and Michelle watch the kids over at the house, you know. And then everybody moved on, you know what I mean? And, you know, he was working for Stephen at the Exxon station, which was my cousin, you know. Stephen passed on, you know. You know what I mean? And things, you know, Bridget, you know, Jimmy went out, Bridget and stuff, you know, so it was, you know, as a companion, somebody with him all the time, you know. And I always had nice cars, clean cars, you know, took care of them and stuff, so. Yeah. Very great time. That's all I can say. Yeah. Love you, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to close with this essay. And like I said, this essay was written well over 120 years ago by a sheriff by the name of Henry Scott Holland.
So much to remember,
It's one of our favorite pieces here at the funeral home. We like to share it with almost every family that we serve if we have the opportunity. I've only slipped away into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am I, and you were you. And the old life that we lived so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak of me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference into your tone. Wear no forced air or solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes that we enjoyed together. Play. Smile. Think of me. Pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without an effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. Life means all that it's ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is this death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind because I'm out of sight? I am but waiting for you, for an interval, somewhere very near, just round the corner. All is well. Nothing is past, nothing is lost. In one brief moment, all will be as it was before, only better, infinitely happier, and forever. And we will all be one together. I'm going to close with an invitation and an announcement that we will respect to his family, remembering him, and taking time out of your busyness